Hello all, it's been a minute and we have another COVID variant, so it's time for another video. We are advancing further into the Greek alphabet. It is called Omicron, and I guess the question on our minds is, should we be getting into lockdown mode again? I really hope not, because I just think about the last time that happened. So Omicron is a new variant that was first reported a few weeks ago in Africa, and now it has been spreading to a number of different countries. And authorities around the world are kind of scrambling at the moment to try to understand and contain the threat. There are many coronavirus variants which differ from the original strain in Wuhan due to changes in their genetic code, also known as mutations. These mutations can affect how the virus transmits between people, how it infects cells, and ultimately how damaging it is for our body. The most important types of mutations for coronavirus occur in the spike protein, which the virus uses to attach to and enter human cells. And what sets the Omicron variant apart is the sheer number of mutations in the spike protein. It has about 30, which is much more than some of the other variants like Alpha and Delta, which have around 8 or 9. And this sheer number of mutations in the spike protein can lead to changes in 3 key areas for the virus. 1, its ability to transmit between people. 2, its ability to cause serious disease. And 3, its resistance to vaccination. So we're going to unpack each of those things. So firstly, is Omicron more transmissible? The variant first popped up in several provinces of South Africa a few weeks ago, and since then the number of cases has risen quite sharply. But what we don't know for sure is whether all of those cases are caused by Omicron versus, say, Delta. The problem is that most standard COVID tests use a technology called PCR, which seeks to detect a very specific region of the virus genome and amplify it. These virus genome fragments don't give enough information to actually distinguish between Omicron and some of the other variants like Delta or Alpha, for example. We actually need a more thorough testing of every sample using a technology called genome sequencing, which isn't always available. So in order to know whether Omicron is truly more transmissible than the other variants, we need to collect more data using genome sequencing and keep monitoring the spread of the virus. And secondly, does Omicron cause more severe disease? There is a very valid concern about this, of course, but we haven't seen enough convincing evidence. I think what we're going to need is a lot of data over time, and we're going to also need to control for variables like people's age and vaccination status, etc., before we can reach a really solid conclusion on this. And the third part of this is, are vaccines still effective against Omicron? So COVID-19 vaccines work by causing our bodies to produce antibodies that bind to and block the spike protein. And when the spike protein mutates and its structure changes, those antibodies aren't as good at recognizing it and blocking it. So therefore, even vaccinated people might get infected with the virus and might still get sick, as has happened with the Delta variant. But I will say, as has occurred with all previous variants, vaccination has greatly reduced the chances of getting hospitalized and dying of COVID-19. And I hope, and I think there's a really high chance that that is also the situation with Omicron. Overall, I think that the vibe is very much wait and see. Hopefully Omicron is just another variant and we keep proceeding through the Greek alphabet, and I think the next one is pi, and then there'll probably be another one after that, and hopefully that one is fine too, and hopefully then it somehow ends, because it is very tiring. But yeah, if anything interesting happens with Omicron, I might make another video. So thanks for tuning in.